Same story exists in Pro Stock, where Jonathan Gray holds on to that spot. Greg Anderson, despite missing the first 5 races because of that heart surgery, has got himself within a round now. As we go to our highlights, beginning with Chris McGahey and V. Gaines. Chris that ended Shane Gray's first round win streak at 20 a week ago. V, runner-up at the first 2 races, has struggled since then. Oh, that's a struggle right there.
Chris McGahey got that thing all kinds of sideways. Had the advantage 400th of a second off the start line, but watch the car drift towards the center. At this point, he's trying to get it back. That thing starts to rotate, and I thought that thing was going around. But take a look again. As that makes that move over there, the car just bites a little bit, keeps that thing straight. So you don't always see that in the Pro Stock car. A lot of times they just keep slipping and sliding right around.
Nice job by McGahey gathering that thing up. Now here comes Jonathan Gray trying to protect that 10th position. Fouled out last Sunday racing in round 1, taking on the defending champion, Vincent Nobile.
No foul this time. Jonathan had the reaction time advantage. Is it going to be enough against Vincent Nobile? Oh, yeah, even outruns him. A 6:56.1 beats a 6:57.1 elapsed time.
Dave Conley started the swing with a semifinal loss at Denver to the eventual winner, Alan Johnson. Alan Johnson with that Roy Johnson horsepower that's under the hood of Matt Hartford for the 2nd consecutive week. Lost on a hole shot last week. Gonna lose here just flat out to Dave Conley. Dave leaves first, gets there first on the elapsed timer, and Dave moves into the 2nd round.
Next up, you're on board with Jeg Coughlin. Jeg, basically the number 5 qualifier up against Derek Kramer.
Jeggy coming off that red light. Oh, he's a day late.
Well, I think it must have affected him. He went up there to probably play a little bit safe, but that might have been a little bit too safe. He does get the win.
Wow.
Low ET of the round thus far, 6:52.7. Just barely beats. Take a look at the Lucas Oil photo finish cam. They were dead even at the 8th mile, and then at the stripe, about a quarter of a car length, Jeg Coughlin advances.
It's right on board here, and watch Jeggy see if he can look out the left side of the car. See any of Kramer? No.
And watch the steering wheel. Very good run. Not a whole lot of movement there. That was a very nice pass, and let me tell you, he pretty much needed every bit of it.
Well, who will Jeg race in the next round? Will it be Greg Anderson or Larry Morgan? But first, let's get you caught up in a preview of Pro Stock Motorcycle.
Back in the staging lanes with Katie Sullivan last week, watching her father qualify for his first ever Pro Stock motorcycle race. And Katie, what was that experience like for you?
That was so cool for me because my whole life my dad has always supported my dream, and he's always had the same dream, but he's always given me the best of all the equipment we've had. You know, he's kind of put everything aside to help me, and so to see him go out and get to live his dream, that was pretty cool.
I heard there were tears.
Yeah, I wish I wouldn't have admitted that now, but yeah, at home there were tears. I just thought I was pretty overwhelmed with the emotions to see him do that.
Very understandably, she has Andrew Hines in the first round.
Now comes Larry Morgan and Greg Anderson. Larry beat Greg here in 2002. Greg trying to get in the top 10.
Greg looking to also get a 600th round win of racing. He's going to do it easily, but as you mentioned, more importantly, is getting in that top 10. A 6:53.7 elapsed time advances him.
6th driver in NHRA drag racing to do that. Joins Warren Johnson as the only 2 in Pro Stock. Now it's Jason Line, his teammate, and Joey Gross, the engine builder from Lodi, California's 3rd ever race. The other 2 coming way back early in the 1990s.
Jason Line went up there and played it safe, a 1:14 reaction time. But that 6:52.0, 212 miles per hour, that's low ET of the event.
He turned 45 this past Thursday. Jason's hoping he can give himself a gift. A gift Shane Gray got by becoming the #1 qualifier. He earned the first round bye. Shane's 3rd #1 of his career, the 3rd this season. Figured all, Mike, he did it all this year.
I tell you, he's got a good race car this weekend. He runs a 6:52.2 elapsed time to advance to the next round.
Alan Johnson, Tommy Lee with the Mold Star sponsorship on the side, courtesy of Cliff Moberg. 2nd race with Larry Morgan. But it's Alan Johnson looking to sweep the swing. He'll have the opportunity. 5 straight round wins now in the stretch in the West. AJ with a 6:52.1 has moved on. Gary Gerald caught up with him.
Alan Johnson by 1,000th of a second misses low elapsed time of the first session. Everything good, and will you have to make any changes as it gets hotter?
Yeah, everything was good. Made a great run that time. Just a little bit better air today. His tongue was hanging out down there at the finish line, so probably had to replace the rear end gear and get a little less rear in it today. But the air's coming to us, so maybe not. But really good run for the Magnetic Morelli Mopar.
Good start to the day.
Yeah.
And the Lucas Oil Ladder looking forward to round 2 of Pro Stock. Features a couple of Dodges, a couple Camaros in the top half. Shane Gray and Jed Coughlin picking theirs. Jeg and Greg, 79th time Mike Dunn. These two have met head-to-head. That's the most of any Pro Stock competitors.
That's going to be impressive, and Jason Lyon will get his lane choice against Jonathan Gray. Jonathan Gray, though, has beat him 3 times this season. Alan Johnson will pick his lane over Dave Conley.
Mike, you're looking a little thin in the skin. I'm kind of hungry, too.
I'm always hungry, Dave.
Gary Gerald can hook us up with his special guest.
One of the beauties when you come to the racetrack, you never know who you may bump into. There's some serious food work going on here in the Alanabi camp. And Guy Fieri, he's the king of the food guys in my mind. You know, diners, drive-ins, dives, Triple D. Justin Gagne, the executive chef. Got some salmon going. What brings you to the racetrack? I know you're from Northern California, and you're a car guy.
Well, I'm a big car guy. I love coming to the drags, and it's been a few years, to be honest with you, G-Man. I've been out on the road doing Triple D. I just got the planets aligned, got the stars aligned. My buddy Brandon Bernstein, we've been friends for 15 years, friends with his dad. And I said, I'm home, I'm coming to the races, and out of bounds. Look at this. This was not the food that we had when I used to come to the races. It was hot dogs and cold beer. This, sushi, great Chef Dustin, can't beat it.
Do you ever get tired of cooking?
It is my favorite thing to do. If there's anything that, when I come home, people say, I bet you don't want to cook. It's actually kind of like my relaxing factor. You know, I come home and start getting food ready, and it just kind of calms me down. And then I make a bunch of food for the family, and then I hop on the road again.
How about you, Dustin? Is there any pressure when you got Mr. Fieri in the house?
Big time pressure, you know. Got to make sure it's all good. You know, got to impress him. So, yeah, but it's wonderful having him here today.
The guys in the truck, they want to know. Any recommendations for places to go after racing action is over?
You know, you are in the heart of the wine country. You got Sonoma about 15 minutes away. All kinds of great joints I've done there for Triple D. One of my favorites, a place called Shellville Grill, Cafe Chiti. But if you go into Santa Rosa, you get my joints. I want to invite you and the crew down. Johnny Garlic's, Tex Wasabi's. Love to have you. You are in one of the greatest parts of the country.
They're in. I'm hearing it in my ear. And we're having a great time at the racetrack. Nice to chat with you guys.
Thanks, T-Man.
All right. Oh, now I'm really hungry, too.